Hey, y'all, listen, welcome in the building. Let me fix my what's that back there? Let me fix my screen. Listen, y'all, welcome in the building, welcome in the building. I see y'all. Hi, how y'all doing? Listen, happy Wednesday, like they like to say, happy hump day, right? We're in the middle of the week, people. And you know what, we still here. We doing what we do. We doing trending topics. Okay. I had a really good Wednesday. Listen, so far 2026 has been messy in terms of celebrities and stuff like that. But so far, I had a good 7 days of 2026, and I hope this represents the rest of my 2026. Okay, 2026 has been good to me thus far. So listen, people, y'all know the routine. We here to do trending topics. Okay, and the title is called Family Matters. Okay, you know what I need? This chair is comfortable, but I feel like I need a more comfier chair. Maybe I'll look into that this year. But anyway. And this chair is mad comfortable, but I feel like I just want something more, even more comfy. But anyway, so you know, the title is called Family Matters. Let me tell you something. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care if they try to say soulmates and all of this other stuff. I'm telling you right now what the diva is never gonna do. I'm not talking to one of my friend's exes, and that's a point blank in a period. Period. I'm not doing it. So a former SNL Saturday Night Live cast member, his name is Chris Redd, he's talked about how he now is dating and is in love with his ex-castmate Kenan Thompson's ex-wife. He said he's sorry, not sorry, but he chose love. And then when he tells this story, he talked about how he had a whole pill problem and she was the only one that helped him. And he said he used to sell pills to the castmates too. See, you know what I'm sick of this year? What is with everybody outing people? Either they're trying to out somebody's sexuality. Now you trying to say, oh, don't look at me. Don't judge me. I was a drug addict, but so was my castmates because I was selling them the drugs. They should do a look back on crime and come lock you up for admitting you were selling the substances to your castmates. Talking about, oh, don't worry, I ain't going to out y'all. No, you outed yourself. So how about the po-po come knock on your door? You come on, Jazzy. Nasty work. Thank you for giving me the words. Nasty work. Tell your own business. You ain't got to sit up there talking about, yeah, and I was selling the pills to the castmates and nobody cared about me. Well, you didn't care about your castmates because you had a pill problem and then you brought the pills and was selling it to them. And then he want to promote his upcoming comedy show. I love to go to comedy shows, but I'll take a pass. Talking about, what did you do for love? I didn't talk to my bestie's man and I wasn't in the job selling my co-workers drugs. Trying to justify his wrongs. You come on, I'm 50 Go. That's right. Nasty work. But we're going to talk about it. Then I guess he thought because he had tears in the Instagram, you know, it was going to catch me. Usually you can't get me with the tears. Usually I break with the tears because when Christy Keys was first on these streets crying that somebody did something to him, I was crying with him until I found out he messy too. But this Chris Redd did not get me with his tears because I said he being nasty. Why would you need to bring up that you were selling the pills on the job? I feel like the state of New York need to come arrest you. They put in Diddy in the jail over stuff they heard on the streets, and you got a man sitting on the camera out of his own mouth telling you he was dealing, and he's still free. You got to make it make sense in this world. But we're going to talk about his confession. The title is called Family Matters. Then we got this wife who disappeared overnight. Now, I could be wrong. Y'all could talk to me. That's why we have trending topics and we have these conversations. But when her husband was on the news talking about just come home and crying for her, I ain't really see no tears. I was like, am I not, what's going on? I ain't see no tears. He didn't need no tissue. He wasn't, no boogers wasn't coming out his nose. This is his wife, who he said he just watched a movie with her the night before. Then he went to bed. He woke up. She wasn't there. She was supposed to go to an acupuncture appointment. He just assumed she was there. He ain't tried to call her, text her. Listen, I got friends that ain't sleeping with me. They be like, girl, why you ain't pick up the phone? I'm like, girl, I'm asleep. They will call and wake me up out of my sleep. So your husband that you sleeping with, he turns over in the morning, don't see you in the bed, and he just assume you at the doctor's appointment. He don't try to text, call, write you a note, nothing. I don't know about this story. But the title is called Family Matters, so we're going to talk about it. Then we got a couple. God bless them. At 70, a family member needed them. Little boy, I think he like 3, 4. They adopted him. At 70, they adopted a 3, 4-year-old. God bless them. God bless them. That's all I could say. And listen, we'll go a little update. Donnie McClurkin, he broke his silence. He spoke. He ain't on the docket tonight, but I'll give you the update when I bring the people on in the building. He spoke and said, you know how they speak. I'm innocent. I'm waiting for my day in court, and pray for the person who accused me and pray for me. But I believe in God, and that's who I live my life for. And what I'm being accused of ain't true. That's what Donnie said. So we're going to talk about it. Listen, people, y'all know what time it is. I need to bring the people on in the building. I need a 1 in the chat. I need a choo-choo. Hold aboard, everybody. It is Wednesday night trending topics, and we got stuff to talk about. The title is called Family Matters. We got Chris Redd in his confessions. Sleeping with his ex-boo. His ex-friends, his friend's ex-wife, okay? And we got a woman who disappeared overnight, and we got an adoption at 70. Let me bring the people on in. Hey, Savannah.
Hey, Dee.
Hey, Julius. In my opinion.
Hey, y'all, hit the like button for the diva.
Hey,
Diva.
Listen, we're going to go ahead and get right into this. You know what? Let's start with this darn Chris Redd. Because when I saw this, I was like, you can't make this stuff up. Hold on 1 second. Where his story at? Okay, here we go. So ex-SNL star Chris Redd reveals he sold drugs to castmates and speaks out over dating Kenan Thompson's ex-wife. Okay. If he wanted to speak out about the ex-wife situation, that's fine, I guess. But then to talk about the drugs, just messy. So former Saturday Night Live star Chris Redd tearfully claimed that he sold drugs to his fellow castmates as he opened up about dating star Kenan Thompson's ex-wife. In a raw, extended confessional post on Instagram Tuesday, the 40-year-old comedian said he was embracing vulnerability in the new year, confessing that he was dealing with pill problems and issues. Okay, hold on. We're going to take a listen to his confession. You know what? It's taking a long time to come up there. Let me see. Give me a minute. Let me go to the Instagram and pull him up. Okay, let's do. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna stop sharing here. Let me share. It'll be easier to look at it this way.
Y'all, I'm not really one for resolutions or nothing like that, but I do have one that I'm gonna be leading with a lot more vulnerability and openness in my work, in my life, whether it's here on the internet, all my platforms and shit, or if it's on that stage, And in order to do that, I gotta really do that. So I wanted to address something that's kind of this, I guess, been around for a long time, about 4 or 5 years now, and but I've never addressed it. I know a lot of people talk about me dating Kenan Thompson's ex-wife, and how that came to be, and I'm gonna just tell it to you straight, man. It wasn't no plan. I saw everything that everybody said. Every single thing that everybody said, I saw it, And bottom line is, I'm not the type of person to scheme on a person. I'm not the type of person to even date somebody that like one of my homies has dated. This is a very unique, nuanced thing that happened. We were all cool. There was not. I was never like hitting on. It was never nothing crazy until it got crazy. Bottom line is, I while I was at the show, I had some pill issues. I had some pill problems. Nothing too crazy, but crazy for my black ass. And I was even selling some to the people. So some of my castmates. I'm not gonna snitch on y'all motherfuckers, man. But it was really funny to me that like I would be around on this shit, and people would talk shit about it and talk shit about me, and I would hear them because some of that Adderall shit got you fucking superhearing and shit, but wouldn't like help me. I would have panic attacks, wouldn't like be concerned about me or nothing, just would talk shit. And it was crazy how somebody would watch you destroy yourself. This lady was the only one to call me on my shit, help me with my shit. She helped me with my therapy journey, and she told me things about her life that made me look at a lot of people involved in it differently, and in that time we fell in love, man. And I felt bad from the start. It's always felt like an emotional double-edged sword for me because I really loved everything me and Kenan did, bro. I really appreciated every piece of work that we put together. I think that we were a great team, and I hate doing something to somebody that I know would hurt them. No matter who they are, no matter what they've done, that's just not how I'm built. Like I'm not built like that. I'm a player for this shit at all, But I did choose love, and that's what this story is. And it made me look terrible. It made me look terrible to people that I love, and a lot of my fans. So I didn't know how to do this without doing this. I'm in therapy, nigga. So like, ever since I figured out that I'm more sad than angry, all my anger issues have turned into tears, nigga. Like it's crazy, bro. But to all the fans I disappointed, you know what I mean? Like, just know this was not something. I don't feel like a pimp. I don't feel cool about this at all. Besides the fact that I found someone that makes me feel like I didn't even know what love was for real. And I just felt like I couldn't miss out on it. And love is not sensical. And me and him talked about it. And I'm not gonna say, and we were cool, and we continued to work for a year after we talked about it. And I remember it specifically being said, you know what? Let's just keep this shit under wraps. And as soon as everybody found out, shit changed. But look, listen, this is the type of thing that, and you can have a conversation with a nigga about that shit, but she can switch it on a dime. You know what I'm saying? Like, because this is so serious. And now that I'm in that kind of love, I understand, I understand it completely. I felt like there's probably outside of not doing this at all, there's different ways I could have went about this shit, and but I was in love, and I was, and I was spiraling out, bro, and that's what happened. And then by the time everybody found out and the world found out, I was out of there. SNL, And so when I got punched in the face, which we will have jokes about that for sure at the show, most people who know me from back home would know that you know, I would be retaliating in a heartbeat, but not this time, bro. This time it felt like fair enough. Anyway, this wasn't meant for laughs. It's just meant for me to just put some narrative on something that a lot of folks is already talking about, but won't bring it up to me at all. You know, I'm sorry for the people I disappointed with this. Just know it wasn't to be a dick. It felt like a love I couldn't miss out on, and I had to shoot for it. And I've never put anything above my comedy and my work. But I felt like I couldn't move on to the next stage of this creatively without addressing this. So if you don't like seeing grown men cry about hard choices they made, this is going to suck for you as a video. This is going to suck to me to look back on. But 28th, caveat, New York City, I will be starting to address all of this. The whole show is not going to be about this, okay? The whole show is going to be about love. So you know what? I'm gonna have little sheets on the table. You tell me what you've given for love. You tell me what you sacrificed for love once, you know. And let's just talk about it together, whether it's good or bad, you know. And I'll see you on the 28th at the caveat, baby. Peace.
Hold on one second. Let me share again. So former Saturday Night Live star Chris Redd tearfully claimed that he sold drugs to his fellow castmates as he opened up about dating co-star Kenan Thompson's ex-wife. In a raw extended confessional post on Instagram Tuesday, the 40-year-old comedian said he was embracing vulnerability in the new year and confessing that he was dealing with pill problems and issues during his 5-season run on NBC's hit sketch comedy show. Nothing too crazy, but crazy for my Black A, Red said. I was even selling some to people, to some of my castmates. I'm not going to snitch on y'all MFers, man. Bottom line is, while I was at the show, I had some pill problems. I got some pill problems. Nothing too crazy, but crazy for my Black A, you know, he shared. Red said his struggles were compounded by what he described as a lack of support from co-workers, claiming he overheard other cast members talking stuff about him instead of offering help. They wouldn't help me, Red claimed. I would have panic attacks, wouldn't be concerned about me or nothing, just would talk S about me. It's crazy how somebody will watch you destroy yourself. During that period, Thompson's ex-wife, Christina Evangeline, became a source of tough honesty and emotional support, Red said. Thompson filed for divorce from Evelyn in June 2022 after more than a decade of marriage, and Red began dating her months later in September. Months later, in 2022, Page Six reported that the pair had been living separate lives since 2019 and that there was no overlap in relationships. I know everybody talks about me dating Kenan Thompson's ex-wife and how that came to be, and I'm going to just tell it to you straight, Red said. The comic insisted he never pursued her while she was married to Thompson and said there wasn't a plan, adding that everything was all cool before things got crazy. She helped me with my therapy journey, and she told me things about her life that made me look at a lot of people involved differently, he said. And in that time, we fell in love. Red said the situation made him feel bad from the start, describing it as an emotional double-edged sword. I really love everything me and Kenan did, bro. I really appreciated every piece of work we put together, he said. I think we were a great team, and I hate doing something to somebody that I know will hurt them. I don't feel player for this S at all. But I did choose love, Red said. Red claimed he and Thompson discussed the relationship and agreed to keep it private, but said things shifted after about a year when everybody found out. But I was in love and I was spiraling out, he said. By the time everybody found out, the world found out, I was out of there. SNL, y'all know, you know. Red joined Saturday Night Live as a featured player in 2017 and spent 5 seasons on the show before departing in 2022 ahead of its 48th season. He also appeared on Thompson's self-titled sitcom Ken in 2021 before it was canceled after 2 seasons. Savannah, your thoughts?
I don't know where to begin with this mess because he done infuriated me. Because this isn't about, I believe this story isn't about SNL stars being on substances because who's surprised? Uh, since the times of Jim Belushi, if we remember who he was, Chris Farley, SNL stars have many of the greatest have been on substances and unfortunately have lost their lives because of their vices. So that's not surprising to anyone. What threw me off about the story, and I'm like literally shocked, is that you immediately started messing around with your him and Kenan were so tight. And if I'm not mistaken, I recall them saying, because they used to have a skit together, that Kenan helped him, helped him get the opportunity to get on SNL. And because it was Kel, and if we and my kids grew up on Keenan and Kel, so I followed Keenan since he was a child, and I absolutely adore Keenan because he's so unproblematic, and he's not one of those that's been out there and in the social media. And then I'm mad at this wife because you're how nasty and dirty and disrespectful, and then you have your children around a man who has openly confessed to addictions to substances and that he has uh, I mean, I'm so upset with this story and my heart breaks for Keenan, and because that is the substance thing wasn't necessary. Like, why are you trying to throw the heat off on someone else? This is your dirt at your feet that you brought. You betrayed your homie who gave you an opportunity. He's clearly gained a lot of weight because Chris Red was very thin and very lanky and tall. So he's battling something for real. I think he needs to go into rehab, honestly. And I am so mad at this wife right now. I cannot believe that she would betray Keenan like that and go with his homie less than 90 days. A whole season didn't even go by and they were together. I'm just I didn't know any of this was going on in SNL, and I watch it periodically, but I didn't think that he was crawling in bed with his boy's wife. That's crazy.
Bananas, right? Thank you. Julius, your thoughts?
So I'm gonna be blunt. I have no clue who this nobody is, but I know Keenan and Kel, all that. You know, to Keenan and Fat Albert. I could go on. Keenan is so unproblematic, but at the same time, he is a very, 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 and I picked this up very quickly about him. He is very private about his personal life. This person, like I was saying in the chat, listen, I was cutting up in the chat about this fool. He looking for attention. He want us to be in the group chat and to feel sorry for him. I don't. I could care less. This chunk can go somewhere else. Um, you're still after your 15 minutes that's been up because you're a nobody. You're still a nobody, and you're going after your once good friend who gave you an opportunity that you wrecked for something that you were doing. So let's just keep it real. He could go ahead and cry me a river, like Justin said, and I'm giving the girl the side eye. So it's like,
Mm.
I understand you didn't want to be with Keenan. You and Keenan fell out of love. Y'all decided to uncouple. Okay, fine. But 60, 90, days later you decide to go with his homie or someone who was supposed to be his homie, that's not a good look, sis.
Thank you, Julius. 48.
Hey Diva panel chat. Um, what in the home wrecking whoremongering is going on here? To me, I think that the people at SNL won't really messing with him because
Mm,
they've seen that he was giving Kenan, the good guy, his wife, the side eye. You months after they break up, come on, bro, we not stupid. And like you're doing things to me, like Savannah and Julia said, Keenan is so unproblematic. He's very good at like giving with his community and philanthropy and stuff like that. So when you do bad, good people wrong, karma does come back. Some of the things that the man was saying, I can't agree. I can't agree that like when you go to therapy, when you're angry, they do bring that out and let you know that, yeah, it's not anger, it's hurt, but he should be feeling all of those things. Not saying that he destroyed Keenan's family or anything like that, but he needs to feel all of these feelings that he's feeling because he was wrong. When you do wrong, you need to accept the wrong, what comes with that wrong. So I hope the home wrecking whoremonger finds love again and gets his life together. But I don't feel bad for him. I'm not going to the comedy show or nothing like that, but it is what it is. Like, he wrong as hell.
Thank you. Wayne, your thoughts?
Well, Deep, in spite of your monologue where you said that you didn't see no tears and crying and all that stuff, he kind of had me going for a minute. I saw his eyes getting glassy and looked like they could have been swollen up a little bit. I mean, he had me going. He had me going. I'm like, okay, he found love, but and then I was thinking on the other hand, he's like, nobody would help me. I had anxiety. I had this. Well, they got professionals for that. These people are not professionals. He had me going until the 3-month thing. I'm like, come on now. I mean, it's some kind of code. I mean, you had to give it a little bit more time. That was just
Bros before
too.
hoes.
That was just too soon. I think I mean, if you got a good friend and y'all road dogs, it's just some kind of respect you got to give to the brother, to your brother. That wasn't. And I'm thinking this may have been a little more lust than love. He wants to say he went for love. I think he went for lust. And I think these eyes been meeting way before then. I didn't think these eyes just met when you start, she was comforting you with your anxiety and, and all this was going on. No, I think these eyes was meeting a little while, before then. They was married 10 years. So, I mean, I wouldn't be interested in the concert, no way. I barely watch Saturday Night Live. But yeah, I can't, with this one, I don't see no love. You fell for love, and this year you're gonna be vulnerable. And the name, not the name calling, but just the mention. See, misery love company. I'm gonna throw that little dig on the side. Nobody need to know about that.
Nobody needed to know about that.
And then people ain't stupid. The cast members, people know who cast members are.
Right.
Like,
right.
duh, you don't think people would figure that out?
Right.
So he gets the F tonight for me.
Yeah, he get an F. You ain't never lied, because as soon as I saw in the cast picture with him, what's the guy that went with Kim Kardashian for a minute? And I
Pete
said,
Davidson.
he had a little problem. So I was like, yo, you was reckless with that whole conversation. Reckless. In my opinion, your thoughts?
Listen here, okay? Nobody believes a word this man was saying. I believe he was the inside force in that marriage. He didn't wait 3 months. they were doing something behind the scenes for a while.
Mm.
This is the story he's coming out trying to tell us. Only because he's an attention seeking, you know what. And all the stuff done dried up. And Kenan was the one that helped him get all the jobs he had. And he kept losing them because he was bad at his job. Listen here. I hate it when these attention seeking people come up to the internet and try to tell us what they done did wrong and then want us to feel sorry for them because they put some tears in their eyes. Cry me a river, okay? Jump on the next boat. Flag down the next one. Tell it to God. You know, tell it to your therapist if you went therapy, because the therapist should have told you all this nasty and wrong. He needs Jesus.
Thank you. In my opinion, Katrina, your thoughts?
I hope I'm on the right one. This crazy screen yard, I tell you. My thing is, why are you busting out your castmates? And you should have been saying on national broadcast that you was a D dealer and that you sold this to these people. We didn't have to know that. That's your them and their business. We didn't want to know that. And then you sleeping with your boy's girl. Man, this is some sick mess. Now you up there crying with them fake tears, like Wayne said, them fake tears that we never seen, trying to get folks to come to your comedy show. But we ain't buying it because we see that you're a little slimy snake. So why would we go give you any type of money after you and ratted out the people on there at the cast? You slept with your boy girl, a wife, ex-wife, whatever she is. She ain't no better either. But as Wayne was saying, he probably was eyeing her the whole time because y'all got together that quick. Girl, please, ain't nobody falling for that. So we're not coming to your show. Well, the train ain't coming. I don't know about the rest of the people in the caboose, but the part of this train is not coming. And have a good show because we won't be there. That's all I got, Deep.
That part right there won't be there. Yeah, he messy boots all the way around. And then going to talk about, I ain't going to out you, MFers. Yo, sir, go sit down somewhere. Now I'm going to roll into the next story. This woman disappeared. Let's share screen.
I'm Scott Schneider.
I'm Dawn Hasbrook. The search continues tonight for that missing Chicago Public Schools teacher. 53-year-old Linda Brown has not been seen since the weekend.
Tonight, her husband making a public plea for help. Leslie Moreno live at Robert Healy Elementary School in Bridgeport, where Brown teaches. Leslie.
Hey guys, good evening. Yeah, he says the last time he saw her was on Friday night. He says they watched a movie together. She went to bed early, and when he woke up, he says she was already gone. Husband's desperate search continues.
I'm broke down. I don't know what to do. I did everything. I'm talking to people. We got people on it. We got people searching for it. I'm out of options. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do, but just wait.
Chicago police say 53-year-old Linda Brown was last seen Saturday afternoon in Bronzeville in the 4500 block of MLK Jr. Drive. Investigators believe she may be driving a blue Honda Civic and may be in need of medical attention. Her husband says they watched a movie on Friday night. On Saturday, she had an acupuncture appointment but never showed up. Something he says is completely out of character. By Sunday, when calls and messages went unanswered, the family contacted police.
We watched the movie Friday night, and she went to bed before I did. I stayed up a little later. She was in the bed when I went to bed. When I woke up at 8:35, she was gone. And she didn't take anything. She took her purse, credit cards, but I'm thinking she was at acupuncture.
Linda is a longtime special ed teacher at Robert Healy Elementary. Her husband says she has a history of mental illness, but has never gone missing before.
If you're watching this, please come home. Your family is missing you. I'm missing you. Your friends are missing you. Linda, we need you to come home, baby. Seriously, we need you to come home.
And her husband says police have tried tracking her vehicle, but nothing has come up as of this evening. There have been no reported or confirmed sightings of her. If anyone out there has any information, you're urged to call police right away. For now, reporting live here in Bridgeport, Les Moreno, Fox Chicago.
Hold on one second. So come home. Heartbroken husband, desperate plea over missing teacher wife after she vanished without a trace overnight. Cops have shared information about her disappearance. A distraught husband said he felt broken down while pleading for help to find his missing wife. Linda Brown, a special education teacher, vanished from the home she shares with her husband in Chicago on Saturday. The last known sighting of Linda, 53, was in the 4500 block of Martin Luther King Drive in Bronzeville neighborhood, said Chicago police. The missing person was last seen on January 3rd, 2026, cops added. Her husband, Antoine Brown, has made an emotional plea for help to find her, reported local Fox affiliates said. I broke down. I don't know what to do, he said. I've done everything. I'm talking to people. We got people searching for her. I'm out of options. The last time he saw Linda was on Friday, January the 2nd. If you're watching this, please come home, Anton said to the news in a desperate plea to Linda and hoped she would be watching. Your family's missing you. I'm missing you. Your friends are missing you. Linda, we need you. Come home, baby. Seriously, we need you to come home. Anton said he and his wife watched a movie together before she went to bed early. Linda had been booked for an acupuncture appointment on Saturday, but she didn't turn up. The no-show was unusual for Linda, said Antoine. I woke up at 8:45 a.m. and she was gone, he added. Find her. Linda Brown was reported missing on January the 3rd. Your wife went early on the 2nd and you don't report her missing to the 3rd? I don't know. Chicago cops say Chicago's cops has tried to track Brown's vehicle, but have so far failed to find any leads. Linda Brown, 53, is a Chicago public school special education teacher. Brown has been described as about 5 feet tall, weighing about 130 pounds, with brown eyes, brown hair, and a fair complexion. She was last seen wearing a long, puffy black coat and shiny style boots. The missing person was last seen on January 3rd, 2026, in the area of the 4500 block of South Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Drive, said police. She may be in the area of the 2200 block of West North Avenue. The missing may be driving a blue Honda Civic with Illinois plates, number CX 57470. She may be in need of medical attention. If anyone has any information, please contact the SUV unit in Chicago there, or call 911 Chicago Police Source Road. She took her purse and credit cards, but I'm thinking she was at acupuncture. Police said she may be in need of medical attention. Linda's worried family called the cops when it became apparent that she had vanished, as calls and messages to her weren't answered. They have been looking everywhere where we possibly can for Linda, said her brother-in-law, Lorenzo, reported to the local news affiliate. She may be driving a blue Honda Civic. I don't know why they keep saying maybe. Is the car gone? They asked anyone with knowledge of her whereabouts or with any information to urgently call the police. That's her missing poster right there. We love her. We miss her. We want her to come home, Antoine told the local news. He told the broadcaster the family felt a little frightened and scared. Like, where is she? I don't know what to do. I did everything. We got police detectives out, everybody looking. Her family spent Monday retracing Linda's last known steps. They have also called area hospitals in a desperate attempt to find her, to no avail. Linda has worked for many years as a special education teacher at Robert Haley Elementary School in Bridgeport. Aaron, the school principal, has sent a letter to parents about the missing teacher and offering support, according to the news. I know that news like this can cause many emotions, questions, and concerns for our school community, she wrote. Please know that we are partnering with the CPS Crisis Management Unit to support our students and staff members. If you feel that your child would benefit from additional social emotional support, please do not hesitate to let us know. Our school-based mental health professionals will also be available as needed. We love her. We miss her. We want her to come home. The Chicago Teachers Union shared a message and a missing persons flyer on social media about her disappearance. Thank you for sharing my flyer and for spreading awareness about Linda's disappearance, said fellow teacher Jen Rivera in the message. She's my family member, and we've been working hard to spread as much awareness as possible to bring her home safely. It's very sad. Something about this don't seem right. Savannah, your thoughts?
Ooh, this is definitely not Gone Girl for real. And Diva, I did see this afternoon where the police authorities were able to locate her car. So her car has been found.
Oh.
Yes. I have so many questions, and I'm not going to state the obvious, but sir, you're in trouble. You better get you a good lawyer. I mean, this, and then not a tear, not a booger, not a sniffle, like nothing, sir. You are in trouble. Um, and I just find it hard to believe that. And in this whole story, the thing that was missing is her cell phone. Was it
Mm,
pinged? Leave it
right,
at home? I heard nothing, whether it was on the news or in the article, about her cell phone.
right.
And so, that's missing. Did she have a iWatch, an Apple Watch? Some of these cars now, I don't know, I didn't catch the year of her car, but you can trace their computer as well. So there's so many nuggets missing from this story. But we side eyeing hubby. I'm sorry. Those emotions didn't seem genuine to me.
Mm-mm.
Your wife is gone one day, all day Saturday, she don't come around and you don't report her till Sunday. Her appointment's at what, 8, 9, and you don't, by 10:30, you should have been making some calls,
How about you?
going
If you
to the acupuncture.
sorry, you don't that part.
Just I'm so confused. So that's what, oh yeah. There's gonna definitely be an update on this story, and I just hope that she's found soon before those hard Chicago winters hit, because it didn't look like there was much snow on the ground. So if anything, I hope she is found soon.
Yeah, and he knew. We watched the movie. Come on now, y'all watched the movie. She went to bed first, and then you went after her, and you woke up at 8:45 a.m.
Very
Julie,
rehearsed, like he had that timeline down. It was very
yep,
rehearsed.
yep. Julius, your thoughts?
I don't think she's in this life anymore.
Mm,
I'ma say it how I feel it in my spirit. I have to say it
mm,
that way. I don't think she's in this life anymore. And I have to say it this way because it's not making sense. She before did not have any mental breakdowns, crash outs, anything like that. And her family hasn't heard from her. What if she went to one of these hospitals, and I know that they have codes to where they can't tell anybody anything because she probably reported being a domestic violence patient, or better yet, like I just said at the start of my statement, she's not in this life. He did something.
mm,
I don't know what. He
mm,
did something to her. And everyone, as we just heard, they did find her car and she was nowhere to be found. He did
mm.
something to her. I'm hoping I'm wrong, but energy wise, I don't think I am. Something is off. It's very suspicious. And I feel like we're going to be finding out spiritually a whole lot more of this because it's a whole lot more missing.
Thank you, 48.
Yeah, I agree with Julius and Savannah. One of the things that I thought that was really sketchy was that when they woke up in the morning, like, yeah, he didn't call her, yeah, because he was asleep. But your wife doesn't like tap you and be like, "Hey babe, I'm gone," or I'm
Say
about to
that again,
leave,
48.
or nothing like that. They don't say that. I say that to my kid if I'm running up to the McDonald's early in the morning. "Hey y'all, I'll be right back." Go to
Yep.
each of
Say
they
that to my
each of
mama.
their
See you
beds.
later.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like Savannah said, it sounds sketchy. Like Julia said, he did something to her.
Wayne, your thoughts?
This has foul play written all over it. One, I'm like, I understand people. I know people say, oh, people grieve different ways and stuff like that. Lord, when my little dog died, I couldn't even hardly talk about it without bursting out crying. And this is a human being you claim you love. I don't know how to do it. Make people really strong, and I'm the weak one. Other thing, there's no movement on her credit cards or anything. Usually, if somebody's able to do something, they can say, well, the credit cards were used here. And then on camera, they can check and see who used the credit cards. Was it that person? That person say, well, they can possibly say she might be alive, or if someone else is using the credit cards. All this has foul play, even with the story. This is going to be one of these stories where he's going to finally confess and said that we watched the movie, we had an argument, she tried to stab me, and I fear for my life. One of those kind, to try to get less than, life in prison or something. Because this doesn't sound right. Nobody does this. You go on 2 or 3 hours. You talking about all the way to the next day. Well, y'all must have didn't have a good relationship. If you can just leave the house,
Yeah.
and your spouse, nobody knows where you are, and you wait that long. Most people don't. I mean, most people know their spouse. If they gone more than whatever, and they haven't heard something, hey, where you at? So he got some explaining to do. That's it.
Thank you. In my opinion, your thoughts?
So that man was guilty. It was guilt written all over his face. It was in his eyes. Let me tell you something. The reason why them tears wouldn't come out, because he ain't sad at all. He know exactly where she at. He know exactly how she got there. Okay? And here's the sad thing. He did this timeline, and it's so crisp that it makes no sense. Because first of all, wake up in the morning, the first thing you do is not look at the clock and see what time it is. So you woke up and you accidentally looked at the clock to see what time it was. She wasn't there. You weren't worried about it because she had acupuncture appointment. You ain't text her throughout the day. You ain't called her throughout the day. You ain't check on her at all. She ain't come home. You still ain't reported her. You know what I'm saying? This guy, I did it. I want her out the picture. Then he threw out, she got mental health issues. Right then and there, I said, oh, he's setting the basis. He gonna say somebody else did it, and she had this mental health incident, and she must have did this. Let me tell you something. First of all, they said she was a special needs teacher. Okay? Her mental health couldn't have been that dang bad. She showed up to work every day. She took care of special needs kids. And that's a hard job to do within itself. I'm telling you, this man is guilty. He set that timeline up so crazy. Oh, she went to bed first. We watched this movie. She went to bed first. I went to bed. Then I woke up. It was 8:42. She wasn't nowhere to be found. I thought she was at the acupuncture. And then he tried to cry, but he couldn't get no tears to fall out his face. It didn't even look sad. It looked like I'm guilty. Okay. I pray y'all believe these lies I'm telling y'all, because that's what it was. Lies.
Thank you. In my opinion, Katrina, your thoughts?
Yeah, Diva, what was the last thing she was wearing? What is the last thing she was wearing?
I don't remember.
Okay, but the reason why I was asking that is, if you was asleep, how you know what she was wearing if she was gone before you woke up? That's why I asked that question.
I
And
thought they said somebody did spot her. I thought they said that.
somebody bomber jack or whatever. Okay, so he passed on that one. But what the cop should have said, well, what movie was you watching? And if he called like the wrong movie, they was like, okay, this didn't play tonight. So what are you talking about? Because he said they watched the movie, she went to bed, and he went to bed later, and he woke up at 8:45, and she was gone. Now, if he didn't say she was wearing no clothes, if another person said she was wearing no clothes, okay, I get it. But if he said that that's what she was wearing, we can say that he's lying because you said she was asleep when she left. But it reminded me of the Emmanuel rest his little soul story. How that woman sat up there and tried to make those tears come out of her eyes, sit up there telling that lie the whole time. That's what he was doing. The exact same thing. I ain't seen not one tear dropped out his eye. Unless he got imaginary Kleenex like Candace had to dry it up before it came out when we didn't see that. So he's lying. And then, okay, like we said, most phones, I don't know if it's a family plan or whatsoever, but my kids can can check my location on my phone. So y'all don't have like the location thing, find my phone, track my mom or something like that, track my wife. This is ridiculous. And like you said, he waited a whole day to report her missing. Acupuncture take that long? I don't think so. You're full of crap. And hopefully they'll find out that you're full of crap and you will be gone. And if God, I'm wrong, please forgive me. But right now, I see him as him. He's the cause of her disappearing. And that's all I got. And his little brother-in-law and his brother. But that's all I got.
Yeah. I also feel, to be honest with you, that he wasn't the one that called it in. I think it was her other family members that called it in. So yeah, it's just I don't know. Something in the water ain't clean with this one. I'm not liking it. I'm not liking his lack of tears. I'm not liking, in the midst of your wife being gone, you remember all these wonderful details. We watched the movie. She went to bed first, and I went to bed, and we was next to each other in the night. She had an acupuncture appointment. I was asleep. And like y'all said, your wife don't tap you. I tell my 20-year-old son, I'll be right back. I'm going here, there, Dr. Who. She don't tap you, say, babe, I'm about to go to get my do the acupuncture to my appointment. And my thing is, you let a whole day go by without talking to your wife? Nah, I don't like this. It's nasty, it's messy, and something ain't right. I'm going to roll into this last story, which is actually very nice. Family Matters, y'all. That's what's going on tonight for Trending Topics. Let's take a listen.
Today we meet at West Palm Beach aunt, mom, and grandma, who at 70 years of age became a mom again, and that's through Kinship adoption. When Lenny found out her nephew was at risk of entering the foster care system, she decided to make him part of her forever family. Here's our Liz Girantes with the story.
I used to tell my husband, when I retire, I got to go find me a job. I'm just like bored, you know? No boredness now.
There aren't a lot of dull moments as the new parent to a toddler, since shortly after her retirement, she decided to take in her nephew.
We are here to make a forever family.
I told my brother I would take him and raise him. My brother, he's in our life and everything, but right now he wasn't able to take care of him. It was a new season in our lives, you know, to take care of him and to raise him, give him a good start in life.
Waverly, who has been married to Lenny for 3 years now, has cared for children in his family before and is ready to do it all over again.
So, Dad, I take it you're enjoying this as well.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. I'm loving it. It gives me something to do. I'm comfortable every day, and this was me when I was small, so it's no different. You know, it's amazing how we get older and we forget the little kid that we were.
Instead of canceling their plans, they now just have to make sure there's room for 3.
We were still able to go places and do things, you know, because we pretty much do it together.
He been to Chicago, he been among Alabama, he been in New Orleans. He traveled too.
Knowing others who grew up without parents pushed them to go ahead and adopt.
Some of my son friends, they was foster kids. They talked to me too and say, just don't be his guardian. Adopt him, because it meant a lot if you adopt him.
There is no substitute to always knowing he has a mom and dad.
Where's your mama?
I thought that was a great story. Savannah, your thoughts?
It was, Diva. I think we needed it after story 1 and 2. And bless their heart, they look like a healthy, vibrant 70-year-old to be now raising a toddler. So my only hope for them is that they have an army of support behind them to help with this. young man and his rearing, and because it is going to take others, unfortunately, to be there for them, to make sure to protect and love and guide this young man, but also to support them, because they have so much that they're going to be dealing with, health and finances and getting the baby to kindergarten and all of that. So I really hope that they have an army behind them, present, helping with the raising of this young man.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you, Savannah. Julius?
That is such a lovely, inspirational story.
Mm-hmm.
And I just hope that both of those individuals have long, healthy longevity with support from their village and bringing up that beautiful baby boy and making sure that he has love around him 24/7 and that he can remember that when he reaches adult age.
Yeah. Thank you, Julius. 48.
Yeah, that was a beautiful story. I love it. Um, God bless them for real. Like one of the purest forms of love that God loves is caring for them orphans and widows. It's in that
Mm.
good book. So like God bless them. And like Savannah said, they look like that because God is blessing them, to be able to take care of that baby. Um, just I would just say being a kid in the foster care system, I would just say continue to love on him and give him truth. Whatever comes up, keep it 100 with him and they'll do great.
Yeah. I love that they said that their friends told them like it's important to actually adopt him, not just be the guardian. Wayne, your thoughts?
They seem like a vibrant couple, and I think that's a very noble thing they did. The one thing I hope they do is incorporate, as they raise him with younger people his age,
Mm-hmm.
because when they just reared by older people, they have older ways. I mean, it's a entirely different child. Um, I was fortunate enough when I raised my grandson that most of my friends were younger than me, and their children were my grandson's age. So they kind of grew up together. So he had, like Savannah was saying, sort of like that village. When I needed somebody to watch him, it was somebody, you know, that could have been his mother. So I had their help with him. So they're like aunts and uncles and stuff like that. Because at my age, I mean, I did what I could do, and I did a lot. But it was nice to have that little help, you know, when I need a little break. So I just hope they get that, in their rearing him, because he wants to be in some sports. He's gonna want to be in some sports, and they'd always just one sport, a couple sports, and need that support of the family or like say the village to come out, just rearing him. She's like you said, she's gonna need that help. That's it.
Thank you. It's great they saved them from the foster care system too. In my opinion, your thoughts?
I think it's amazing that they took this baby and adopted him, because what kids want the most is somebody to love on them and somebody to actually care for them. And they were super excited, had a lot of energy. They said it was taking the baby to see places. So yeah, I'm super happy that they took on this. I'm pretty sure since they both have raised a lot of kids, they already know the challenges they're gonna have to do. And I pray that God gives them the strength to see it all the way through, because this is gonna be a long journey because this baby is so young. But I pray that they, have a longer life so they can be there for him and be there for us for him, because that's what kids need, to be loved and protected.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you. In my opinion, Katrina, your thoughts?
How old were they again, Diva? 72?
They're in their 70s.
Wow. By the time this child graduate from high school, they can be in their 90s. They got a lot. They got a lot to take in, and I hope they got, like everybody's saying, I hope they do put in place for somebody to take over for him. You know what I'm saying? They need to put another guardian or somebody that they trust that can handle him in case something happens to them, because raising a child, even when you're young, raising a child, that's a lot of work and worry. You have to go to ball practice. You have to go to ballet school. I mean, it's so much stuff that you have to do when you're raising a child. And they seem like they got the energy for it, but I just hope they can put somebody in place just in case something happens to them, because they're not young people. And I'm not saying it to be nasty or anything like that. I'm just saying they're not young people. And raising a child these days, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. But God bless them, bless that child, and bless the thing that he is not in the what is it, the adoption centers, places whatsoever, in the orphanage. That's a good thing. He still have a name. When he go up, he still will have a name that he can say, well, this is my name right here. And he got it because of these two people right here. So I just hope they just got somebody in place for him in case something happened to them. But God, please, hopefully not. But that's how things go. But that's all I got, Diva.
Thank you, Katrina. I appreciate you. Listen, guys, I'm gonna stay connected to this story. Chris Red is Chris Red. Messy boots. Okay. The woman who disappeared, we could be wrong, but I won't be shocked if her husband get cleaned up within the next few days, because something in the water ain't clean with that story. And God bless the couple for adopting this young man and not letting him go into the foster system. He's with family. And she said her brother, I don't know if her brother is much younger, because she said it's her nephew. So maybe her brother is much younger. She said her brother is still around, but he just couldn't care for him. And she said she promised the brother she would care for him. So maybe when the brother gets his life together, he could step in and step up. But in the meantime, they're filling in the gap, and I'm here for it. Listen, guys, y'all know the routine. If you ain't hit that like button on the way in, do the Diva a favor. Hit the like button on the way out. Good night and goodbye, everybody. Choo choo.
Choo choo.